Alright, welcome back to Meteorology 101. In this video, I'm going to chase the models again. Right now, we're going to pull up a surface chart. We're going to check our systems. If you've been following along, we had a low pressure system over Texas. Let me get my pen up here real quick. So we had that low over Texas. We actually had a low over Montana. We had a low pressure system in the northeast. And then we had a high pressure system that was pushing down into the central U.S. And then we had that high pressure system to the south. So we had a high. This was a low just kind of being blocked by that high. I had that warm front dropping to the south. We had actually this low pressure system. We had one low pressure system over the Great Lakes region that was kind of bringing that front to the west and then tying into that one. That was going on. And then we actually had that double front, so we had maybe the other front was just past the Ohio Valley last time, right along the Appalachians. So this low pressure system is the one we were keeping an eye on down here, and that was just kind of sitting there. This high pressure was blocking that. This high pressure was kind of ridging in pretty far, blocking that low from going anywhere, and it was kind of in and out. This high pressure system's been ridging in and out also, but we did have a lot of onshore flow from that high, and a lot of warm air advection being pushed up into this area. So we'll see if we still got the low there. We do have that disturbance, so let's see what's happening up there, and then see what's going on with that high, with this low. And with this low should be pushed off the screen by now, so we're not going to worry about that, and then we'll check this low. Alright, so let's go ahead and get our surface pressure plotted. Okay, so now we got high pressure to the north. That's bridging in into that area. We got a low that's dropped down. We'll just see what's going on there. Some troughing. This low, I don't think that's the same low, but we had that low over Texas. We'll have to keep an eye on that, see where the placement of that low is. And then we had the high pressure system in the south. They just got one isobor there, probably still ridging. We'll have to see what the winds are. If we got this warm air advection, we're still ridging up in this area right around this low. So this thing is troughing, got an inverted trough all the way through up into the Ohio Valley. So we'll have to see what's going on there. I doubt there's another low there, possibly, or just a trough. Look, so we got some, with this high pressure, you got some minor short waves going around that high. So then this is a system that's moved off to the northeast. Still looks like we got a little bit of snow showers over the Great Lakes region. I'll clear this out again. Maybe a little bit over Maine. We got all this over Montana, dropping down into South Dakota, and we'll have to find out where. We'll look at a radar and find out which rain and what snow, where that 540 line is. We know our jet stream is dropping down through the southeast, so any of these systems that are moving, they're going to continue to move to the southeast. Anything over here will continue to move up, and then maybe to the east, like that low. Get that out of there. See that low, and then this one. I would say, let's get our isotherms on here. I would say what happened here was all that warm air advection we had being pushed up from this high. It just created a little bit lower pressure on the surface, so it's kind of just absorbed with that low, and just that's why it's so elongated, because we had so much warm air advection going on in that area. So right now, without the isobars to prove it, we don't have, there probably is high pressure, another isobar around this high, having the winds from the south. Let's go see what we got there real quick. Let's get the station plots on that. Okay, so we're pretty much calm winds, calm, a little bit of southwesterly, 5 knots, and then some onshore flow here, 5 to 10 knots. So 74 in southern Texas, 73. So I would think we have a little bit of warm air advection there, not like we did have. So I'd say all that warm air advection that pushed up through here, because that's what's caused, this ridge is still there. So that high pressure still dominates that area. So that's why we got all these calm winds. We do have a little bit of cloudiness around this area, so we are getting moisture advection in that area to have that cloud cover right there, broken. It's like 8,000 feet mid levels. So we do have enough moisture, at least in the mid levels, right there. We got isotherms are closed off right here, right around Chicago. So that's that cold core. We did have that the other day too. Had a kind of a cold core low right there. Tight thermal gradient. Not much advection. We do right over here if we get the high pressure system rotating that way. So we can go high. Let me get rid of that. Get that blue. And then ridging through this area. A little bit of advection in this area. So we did have that low pressure system to the north, like we said, over the Great Lakes region that was bringing our cold front down. We were kind of pushing west, but we were way up to the north. I don't know if that's a fact right there now, especially with that low pressure right there. We'll pull up the we could pull up those computer generated fronts. Let's go see what we got there real quick. Alright. A mess. I would say there's just not a lot of isobars going on over here to justify all this advection, but let's kind of see if we can cipher through this a little bit. Let's go high pressure. Let's say high pressure, keep that up there, because that should just be ridging through here. Definitely had some advection right there, some cold air advection. So that's what they're trying to do with this low and having this high pressure ridge through that area. They're trying to bring a cold front. And then we have this low pressure system that was further south. Let's see where that. And this thing is just terrible. Let's see. Got an easterly flow there. Southerly. So if we had the plates are low, that one's pretty good. So that would give you that warm air advection right there. Tying into that cold front. That cold air advection right there. And then they got that low here and then trying to go stationary, whatever is happening right there. So, like I said, you don't have the isobars to prove it. We got cold air advection in this area, so we can bring that front back. At some point around this low, you're going to have warm air advection. Just a little bit right there. And then bring that cold front back into that warm air. So if we're wrapping around that high. Now, we did have that double front going on. So that high, we did have that front that came out of that system. There's a trough right there. We did have that front that came on. That pushed past Ohio into the mountain range. And then we had that other front. It was like, we were calling it a cold front and then a cool front. So we had the other cold front coming down. But now this thing's got low pressure to the north. And then that warm front dropping off of that. Let's see. There is some thermal advection in that area for sure. Cold air advection, that would have to be... It would have to be up to the north. So, I wonder if I would... It's got some troughing there, but I would maybe... Let's see if we could bring... We do have this cold air advection right here. So we got that cold pocket. You can almost bring that out and around that that high. We'll have to see how that develops. If that low pressure system drops this cold front back to the south, being the leading edge of this air mass, because there's the high pressure system. It's back here, but ridging all the way down, there's the leading edge of the cold air mass. So cold front pushing through this low down here. Now that one is the one we've been keeping an eye on. It's just kind of moving around there. The models had it just moving around in that area, not really doing much. So it's kind of coming and going. The high pressure down here was kind of coming and going, but we do have that ridging, up into Louisiana in eastern Texas. So and still a little bit onshore flow. So now let's get into the models. We'll get see how this stuff plays out. Maybe the plateau high still here. Looks like some minor short waves moving all around those highs. Even a minor short wave right there. That would be causing that disturbance unless there's an upper level trough and has precip falling through this high pressure system and becoming snow. So that's a good possibility there. So let's keep an eye on that. Let's go look at the radar real quick. We'll decipher which one's snow and which one is what's rain, and then kind of go from there. Alright, so here's the latest in telecast. Alright, let's see. I'm not set up to draw on that screen, so let me see if we can do what we can do here. Alright, we'll just like I said, snow in Montana, snow over the Great Lakes, isolated snow into pushing down into South Dakota. We do have a little bit of rain showers over northeast Texas. That low pressure system is still there. A lot of this is a lot of radar clutter. Same thing with the northeast. Looks like a lot of radar clutter. I'd say the Great Lakes probably has it. Then the northeast, onshore flow, or a little disturbance in the northwest. That would be continuous rain just pushing through there. Just rain showers on and off. They're just getting clobbered in that area. So we'll keep an eye on that up there as we push through the models, just to see if they're going to continue to flood out and stay muddy. So let's get over to the models. Alright, let's see if I'm set up here correctly, if I can move this chart. Okay, so there's the beginning. Now, do have that low over Texas. That's actually placing that over just south of the Panhandle, so it's actually doing a pretty good job on placement. That's about where we were. Our chart had it down here, and then we had to move it up because of the winds. So this is handling that system pretty good, and it's just kind of been wandering around in this area anyway. So it may or may not develop into something later. We have to keep an eye on that. Now, we had the high pressure system to the north, ridging all the way down. This thing's actually ridging all the way down onto the lee side of the mountains over Colorado. This low pressure system was actually troughing. Looks like they got some crisscross isobars there, so we just closed them off. So that is troughing all the way up into our charts actually headed up into Ohio Valley, which there's a little bit of troughing going on there. So an elongated low. I almost wouldn't tie all that together. Like I said, that was probably, clear this out, that was probably onshore flow, warm air advection, just creating a little bit lower surface pressure in this area. So we got all that warm air advection from this high pressure system. So this one, actually, the high pressure system has this isobar all the way around, ridging all the way up. So that still has that as a pretty good size high, And we did have the high, that ridging up into Louisiana, Arkansas. So that was, our chart was pretty accurate on the ridging. It just closed the high off down here and then left all that open. So these if that was anything, that would be a trough. That'd be a trough. That'd be a trough. Ridging up through there. So minor short waves around the high. Could cause a little bit of disturbances through these areas. We did have that little bit of rain showers over eastern Texas, which we talked about that with that onshore flow and that warm moist advection. That would be, cause any rain showers over that area. That's pretty common for that. Now, the low pressure system to the north, if we were to follow that out, let's look at troughing all through this area. We've got that high ridging way down, so I would almost have to pull that. If that was a cold front leaving that edge of that air mass, I would have to bring that as a cold front down here. So we'll see. Let's see how that develops, and then the high pressure to the northwest, and that'll continue to push south because our jet stream was pretty much a long wave ridge, and then the long wave trough off the east coast. So we did have that long wave ridge. So everything, this high pressure system should push south. Well, let's go pull that. Let's start moving forward on these charts and see if we can chase this out. All right, so let's go to 12:04. It's at 9Z, 12Z, 7 a.m. It'd be like 6 a.m. Central Time. Let's go. There's the high, ridging down all the way to the lee side of the mountains. Then we got this low pressure system. Actually did push south a little bit for that low. And then maybe leading edge of that air mass pushing down. This low pressure system still in Texas, so warm air advection from the Gulf, a little bit of disturbance there. Still got that high pressure, but it's, we do have that troughing around that high, and we get that warm air advection, so that would cause all these rain showers in that area. So let's go. Clear that off. There's a low pressure system over Montana once again. We'll have to keep an eye on that system. Let's see what happens there. This high pressure right now is going to be blocking it. So if you have anything on that, you'd have a warm front dropping south because it can't push that high all the way. So let's go with a couple more shots up on this. We're at Saturday the 4th right now. Okay, high pressure system starts to actually move a little bit more easterly. That low pressure system over Montana drops to the south on the lee side of the mountains. Kind of looks like it hung out there for a minute, then moved to the north. And now it starts to become the next Clipper system. So that originated pretty much Alberta, Canada, pretty close, and then dropped to the south, and then becomes the next Alberta Clipper. That's how they get their name. Alright, so it looks like a lee side low forms up. This is Sunday, 21Z, and it's 3 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Let's go with see what's going on right here. It looks like we got that low pressure system developing pretty good on that Clipper. Developed very well. Almost looks like definitely got some thermal advection right here. This is a thickness chart, so it's thickness advection, but thickness advection is directly proportional to thermal advection. So we got a lee side low. Our low over Texas, kind of like I said, that was wandering around. That just kind of went back over there to the west, became a lee side low. Alright, so let's go. Well developed low. Let me go. Thermal advection. Almost a little bit of thermal ridging. We can almost go. I don't know if that'd be quite occluded yet, but a cold front and wrap it around that high. Right there where all of our cold air advection is. Staying behind that. And then looks like some minor short waves moving around this high pressure system, causing. We got that warm moist air still out of that high. Let's go. All these isobars right here, so onshore flow. And then just some scattered showers in the mountain ranges. Just pretty much some lift, or maybe like a post-frontal trough, but be the lift along the mountains, always getting rain showers in the mountains like that. Now, snow in over northern Michigan, the upper peninsula, but now that one would be a warm front right there. All this warm air advection. So causing no snow showers. So it looks like for December 5th, getting pretty good snowfall over the Great Lakes region, northern Minnesota, Wisconsin, and some isolated stuff up in North Dakota and Montana. So let's go a couple more frames up and see how this thing plays out. Alright, the clipper still continues to the east, and then that frontal system does become pretty well developed. Looks like high pressure dropping down pretty far south. Be interesting to keep an eye on that when the 540 line drops pretty far south, and then this with all that looks like mostly rain moving through the Ohio Valley, and this is on December 6th, Monday, overnight, Sunday into Monday. Then that looks like mostly rain showers, 540 to the north. Looks like some pretty significant snowfall pushing into. That's all mostly staying into Canada. So it looks like mostly the U.S. is getting maybe some mixed up in the New England states. And then turning into rain. There's the northwest, another system coming through. Right there, low pressure. Giving the northwest some snowfall, mixture, rainfall, pretty much everything they need right now. And then low pressure, cold front, and it's supposed to be blue. And then the warm front, probably like that. Maybe an occlusion in that area. And then we got one thing to keep an eye on is that low pressure system that's been moving around in the south. It looks like that pushed all the way down into Mexico. High pressure is ridging all the way into the lee side of the mountains. Right there. Ridging here. So that's that high pressure behind that front. Cold air advection all through there. All through that area. And then that's what's bringing these lower heights further south and bringing that colder air. So let's go a few more up. Let's keep an eye on this low. So if this low catches the edge of that front, if this low pressure system moves out, this frontal system just kind of starts to veer, moving faster to the north than it is to the south, and then starts to stall out, and we become a stationary front. Then we can get this low pressure system over that front, some weak thermal advection, and we can get a low form up, and then that will move to the northeast and become maybe a nor'easter. So we got to keep an eye on that low. That can always happen. Alright, so let's get back to the next couple shots here. Looks like that frontal system does kind of die out. Well, now what's happening with our low? Our high pressure is still pushing to the east, southeast. So we get this low pressure system drops down. What's that do? Drop down like a lee side of the mountains, Wyoming. starts pushing south. But that frontal system's almost gone. We do have some pretty good disturbance right there. What's that forming up? Looks like a low pressure system is forming up right around. It's dropping to eastern Texas. That's all of a sudden pops up over Alabama. Trying to see where that's coming from. Like the low over Texas. That low still over Texas. It still has a closed isobar there. So there's that low. Here's a closed isobar right there to say there's a low right there. So we do have just some troughing in this area. If that low pops up, let's see. It's pretty good low with all that moisture associated with it. So nothing to mock. Let's go. We do have some warm air advection. Get rid of that blue in this area. We are in the Appalachians, so we do have the lift. So when we have the instability, we need the lift, and that's going to cause rain showers. We have the lift from the low pressure system, so we have pretty much snow all through. We've got some mixture shooting through, right through central Ohio, like Columbus area. Looks like that's where our line is. Here's our 540 line right there, so that's a little bit further to the north. So technically this should all be rain, but you can get lower heights right there and cause some mixture. And then definitely rain to the south, snow to the north. Looks like a lot up in Michigan. So just probably Dayton area be more of a mixture. This could always change and go. If that 540 line, that colder air pushes just a little bit more south, then even Cincinnati could get snow out of that. So this is on Wednesday, and I think we are calling for snow in Ohio on Wednesday. It's like a 40% chance. So we're right on that line. I mean, that could go either way as far as Cincinnati, southwest Ohio, and then the north. I mean, that could definitely go either way as far as what's going to happen with snow. Well, they're calling for snow like Wednesday, 40% chance of snow. I mean, I'd say, definitely, if this thing continues to develop, it looks like we're going to definitely have that. We'll have the precipitation. The type of precipitation is going to be, we'll start determining that better once we get closer to the 8th. So that's December 8th, 4 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. So let's go forward with these a little bit further and see how this develops and where it pushes to. No, I just missed my somehow I got off of the loop. Let me get back on that. Alright. Still off the loop. Come on. Alright, why are we doing that? Let's go. Every time I click there, we're losing it. Alright, it's not working. Okay. Alright, I'm going to have to keep this visible. Alright, let's move forward. We're going to the 8th, 15Z. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. No, this continues to move to the northeast. We can still see all the U.S. on our screen, so we're good. So let's see what we got here. Alright, I'm going to quit messing with it. So let's go back. We have 09Z, that's where we left off. Now the low pressure system pushes to the northeast, and then it looks like mixture snow in New England states, mixture through Pennsylvania, and then everything else rain to the south. So that frontal system continues to down all the way down to the southeast. The high pressure system pretty much dominates all the way through the central U.S., and then that just continues to push east, and then we got another clipper system coming through. That just kind of pushes to the north, though. One comes out of Alberta, pushes east, then goes north, but still prefrontal trough looks like causing snow over the Great Lakes region. And then we have a pretty good low pressure system developing over the Four Corners, so we'll see what happens with that one. And we got another low pressure system pop up over the southeast. Alright, so that's the one we're going to have to watch out for. It looks like it was just moving out pretty quick, so maybe no major threat. Looks like some rain showers, pretty heavy, maybe some heavy rain in Georgia, Alabama, Georgia, and then South Carolina. And then looks like over Cherry Point, over the Outer Banks, North Carolina. Then that low pressure system develops and continues to give some pretty heavy rain over the Outer Banks. Alright, so the low pressure system over the Four Corners, that looks like it's kind of moves around there and then shoots out. So it looks like maybe something kicks that out of there, and then that goes to the northeast. Develops a frontal system as the high pressure system behind it drops off the plateau, drops south, and then drops off the mountains and comes over to the east right behind that front. So that's another system to watch out for, and that is on the 11th, Saturday the 11th, 21Z. That's about 3 or 4 o'clock, depending on where you are. 3 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Eastern. So we're going to go. That system develops pretty good. Pushes up to the northeast, and then we got a pretty good frontal system that passes through at that time. We'll see how. We'll have to keep an eye on that and see how all that develops. And then the high pressure system clears everything out, dominates the whole eastern United States. Looks like another lee side low. Started up there, but another Alberta clipper pushing through to the north, and then troughing down into the Great Lakes region, but not really causing any major significant weather as far as maybe some lake effect snow over the Great Lakes, everything else staying in Quebec, and then definitely giving maybe some snow showers up into the New England states there also. So New England's getting the worst of this. Now we got a pretty strong system pushing through in the northwest. They're getting clobbered over there. Now it's snow, mixture, rain. They're just getting everything hammered at them. And that low pressure system moves into Oregon, up through Washington, back up into Canada. So this is like 336 hours out. Friday the 12th, 18Z. So now another lee side low, and then that lee side low gets kicked out, becomes a system, and pushes up through northern Ohio, Great Lakes region, and that's where our models end, about 384 hours out. It's pretty far out. December 19th, 18Z. It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time. Another lee side low. Looks like just a continuing pattern there. So that low was here. So that's just a repeat, moving up that way, and then high pressure well to the north there. So let's go back just a minute, and then see what we got here. That was a lee side low. That was a clipper. So if we watch this one, pushes to the east with that low right there. I'm going backwards right now. So high pressure to the south. Then that system right there we kicked out of Colorado. That low we kicked out of Colorado when we just went up through northern Ohio. And then that created that frontal system. Let's keep an eye on that. Come on. Alright. So that creates a pretty good snow through Colorado, Nebraska, South Dakota, Minnesota, and northern Wisconsin. So they get some pretty good snowfall in that area. Then that low pressure system develops off the east coast. Pretty tight low down there, and then gives the Outer Banks some pretty heavy rain. A lot of this other rain gets rained out over the mountains. You can see that just pushed through that frontal system. Once it gets on the lee side of the mountains, the Appalachians, then that's pretty much done. So right there where that line was, pretty much a lot of that dies out. So alright, I'm going to end the video here. We'll keep an eye on that. All those systems developing, pushing through, see what we got going on. Let me get rid of this. There's our surface chart. That's pretty nasty right now. So like I said, that low right over ridge, troughing up into the Ohio Valley, that thing, I think that's just from all that warm air advection. So alright, I want to say thanks for watching. Follow along. I'm going to keep these videos coming, and I'm working on the next study series. So if you haven't watched any of the study series videos, go to that playlist and get caught up, because we're coming out with I think our next one is we're still in physics, and we're looking at heat transfer. So stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching. Until next time, get your head in the clouds.